According to this, this is where Sparg0, according to his account, is Baja California. I'm not too sure if that's accurate. I thought it was Tijuana.
It's either Tijuana or Baja, but it's not that big of a difference. It's pretty much the same.
Same difference.
Maybe one ping or two more, but nonetheless, we're getting into the run back of winners semi-finals between Wrath and Sparg0. The Corrin still coming out here, not going for the Cloud or the Aegis for this matchup, just sticking with it here.
And what we saw in that winners match was that while the blueprint was certainly working when Sparg0 had the opportunity to play neutral and to get an advantage, Wrath just was sniping stocks left and right the second Sparg0 stepped foot off stage. So I will have to see if Sparg0 is able to go ahead and get a little bit of a better mix in disadvantage, or if Wrath is going to continue with his winning ways.
Yeah, it looked really good for Sparg0 in the beginning of the set, but as much as we talk about Sparg0's adaptation, I think Wrath was the one who had a big change of pace and was able to get that reverse 3-0, of course. So we might see a little bit more of that. We might be seeing a little bit more back and forth, but nonetheless, it's exciting to see this matchup. You don't see all that often, but we're seeing a lot here at Coinbox. I think conversion there.
Is it just me also, or has the not necessarily the novelty of Corrin started to wear off, but has its success started to decline? If I recall correctly, didn't Sonics end up winning Coinbox IRL over this Corrin, and then a few of the matches recently also have been seeming to go either Wrath or Sonics' way? So perhaps it's like a little bit of an adaptation between these two?
No, yeah, definitely, for sure. I think for a while, I remember when I started commentating with Nerf, and we were talking about, like, wow, Corrin seems to be like the perfect character for dealing with Sonic. But as they say that, the Sonic players obviously took it to heart because they just started grinding this matchup and now are very, very solid. You know, even seeing Sonics on his Twitter, like, labbing some kills. And I think what you said, nice back air, by the way. Of course, Casper, I have to say it. I think you saying the novelty wearing off is exactly what it is. Corrin is like a novelty character in this meta.
Certainly, like, the matchup might be solid for Corrin, but really, like, you're gonna get, there's so many characters in this dang game that you're gonna get a couple matches out of just sheer unfamiliarity, given how uncommon the character is.
Yeah, and I mean, Sparg0 is like the master of swords, so it makes sense to me that it found so much success early on. And I like that even though, you know, losing, saying, you know, I'm committed to making this character work in this matchup, I'm going to continue to play it. It's only a waste of time, you know, if you stop trying to win with it.
Agreed. So take that lesson to heart, y'all. It's only a waste of time if you stop, so keep betting. Eventually that lottery ticket will win.
The return's so good, $2 for 50 million.
So far here, it's been all Sparg0 this game. Wrath starting to go ahead and chip away at the lead, trying to secure this stock. Problem is that at 92% with Corrin with full rage, yeah, you have to be on point with your punishes. That pin is a quick tool, but Sparg0 goes for a little something special off stage, misses that tech, and that will do that stock.
Tries to go for that reverse forward smash, turnaround forward smash on the ledge, but the back air covers. Was it 3 backers that closed out this set? Regardless, good stuff from Sparg0 with the Corrin. Once again, taking game number 1 in this set. We might be seeing a game 5. We'll see. I believe in Wrath's ability to make this turnaround, but one of the factors that you don't think about is, you know, obviously as you're watching the stream, there's always something happening on the stream, and as casters, we're always talking, but the players, it's on them to keep themselves warm, especially waiting for so long. And Wrath has been waiting. He waited for the outcome of Beast Mode Paul Shiny Mark and also a Sparg0 Shiny Mark, which was game 5 with like a timeout situation almost. So, you know, it might take Wrath time to warm up here, or it might just be Sparg0 is just going to run away with it. So we'll see. Regardless, it's exciting. I love Corrin. I remember when Cosmos put on Corrin at one tournament, and it actually worked. It worked, and I was like, oh, that's so hype. I always thought this character was super cool in this game. So many frame traps.
Definitely, and like the last SmashCon, getting to see a couple Corrins make those really deep runs was super impressive. Just showing the world that this character, it isn't just novelty. This character's got some tools, and you're going to need to respect them for sure.
Yeah, Shattuck is one of the most inspirational players in Smash. Shoutouts to Shattuck, of course, pushing the meta here in the States. Alongside Sonics, or Sparg0, sorry. Good.
Shout out to Shattuck and Dadak too for being just the supporting parent, helping out, and always being in the crowd and in Twitch chat cheering him on.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to the parents supporting the esports dream, man. It's so sick.
Agreed. So now we are kind of in a familiar spot right there where that spring set up perfectly for that back air. It just feels as though if Sparg0 can get the angle properly to clank with those wings on the upbeat so that they eliminate that spring, then the recovery is relatively easy. If the angle just ever so slightly off and the spring hits the center mass, you're kind of usually just dead. Rat doesn't miss those too frequently.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember in the first watch through of this matchup, we were like, how do you punish that recovery on Corrin? And in a lot of situations, it's not possible, but in that situation for Wrath, like using that spring, I think is a big key to making it be punishable. And you saw there, like the spring, it knocked him away enough so that he had to go for one of those ones that linger a little bit before they...
homing attack? Homing attack yet again.
Damn.
We gotta get a tally of HBox on one of these. We gotta keep track throughout the night how many Sonics throw themselves into the blast zone.
Oh, not again, dude. Of course. Of course. That was the only time it happened. I'm gonna have Sparg0 host. For some reason, I legitimately need to replace my Switch. I think it's a defective one. This has now been happening once per Coinbox. It does it. We're just gonna run it back 125 to 0%. No, it's not in the power settings. It just, I mean, it might be, but sleep mode is one thing, but it is an OLED. That's the thing, and I never understood why it does that. I'm just gonna have them rehost.
While we're waiting for the rehost, I got to tell a story because this has happened to what's his name, Enhanced PV in my region, who had the same exact problem. OLED switch. Every now and then it would just shut off.
Yeah.
So whenever he would enter in online tournaments, what he ended up doing was taking his OLED switch and putting it in the refrigerator.
No
and
kidding.
that's how he would play his matches.
I wonder if it's from it being warm. If it does feel a little warm, but I'm not sure if it's. No, it's definitely the switch.
Yeah, the switch shut off.
Sparg0, it's not letting me.
on us.
Oh god, hold on. Wrath, can you host? And now there's still the issue of it not letting people host. I'm gonna see if Wrath can host. If not, then I'll rehost. It's so weird.
Lunar, I would not recommend you putting your OLED in the microwave, or I would recommend you doing so if you record it and then put it up online and pray that you get enough views to go ahead and buy a new one.
Was it the iPhone? This is before my time, but like the iPhone 4 or something that was like, you can microwave it and charge it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's.
It has wireless charging.
Yeah. Just microwave it.
All right. So Wrath is able to host. Thank goodness.
Cool.
All right. I think it was 120% in 0.
Literally starting to bend and crack apart from how much it heats up. Jeez, that's dangerous.
I think it was 0 to 125.
Yeah, 0 to 125, correct.
All right, there we go. We're gonna run it back. FD, 2 stocks each, 120 to 0. Here we go. You guys remember when you can hack into a phone? Oh, Sparg0 was 125.8. You could hack into a phone by using a whistle or like a noise, a certain frequency. One of the craziest things.
Yeah, I remember that. Didn't the guy get like put in prison for that nonsense?
Yeah, but I think he then he become a white hat hacker.
Yes, I believe so. I think that's what happened.
So
is basically
cool.
like it was dealing with like the dial tone. So if you could mimic the dial tone or something like that, you could basically get transferred, or you could like change where your call would go. So he used that to like mess with like government systems or nonsense like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And there was, I don't know, iPhones back then. If you changed the clock to a certain time, you just bricked it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And there was
Wait.
little tech hacks like that. There was like zip bombs are hilarious. It's like a little file. When you open it, it's like 50 yottabytes of information. And then there was an image, some GIF on Discord that if you opened it, I think it was the guy from Wallace and Gromit, and if you opened it, it would literally just crash the Discord.
Yeah,
No.
it was.
So funny.
Yeah, those little IT nubs that drive tech folks crazy because they didn't think to test that specifically.
Yeah.
I was actually I was doing IT back when the crypto craze started, and I swear to God, I want to say like a third of our clients just had crypto miners on their servers, just like running in the background that some employee installed. Which, I mean, props to them. That's impressive, but maybe don't do that.
125.8%. Gonna try not to steal everything.
What is the stale order? Is it 5 or whatever?
Yeah.
Stale move queue?
Yeah, stale. No, I was gonna say, yeah. What's the stale move queue? Dude, imagine if you had to reset and you were playing Sheik and your opponent was like at 200. You're just there forever. Like, what do you do as Sheik getting the percent up? Anyway, luckily, Sonic, a character that has no problem racking on that percent, and we are back into the game immediately. 2 stocks
Also,
apiece now.
Can we take a minute to appreciate how Rap got that to 125.7? That is impressive. 0.1% away from the target.
Yeah. But yeah, as I said, yeah, there is a 40 kilobyte, zip file that when you open it, it downloads a petabyte to your computer. And the reason the way it does that is because a .zip file is just, you have everything's a bunch of ones and zeros at its very core. Right? In the simplest way, instead of literally writing a million ones and a million zeros, you just write a zip that says, hey, when you open this, then write a million ones and a million zeros. It's like compression. But let's say you have to write a million ones and a million zeros a million times. Well, instead of doing all that, that's an instruction. Hey, write the million ones and a million zeros, and then repeat that a million times. It's not like exact, but like it's what compression kind of is. So you can like tweak with that and make it go absolutely crazy to the point where you can make a insanely stupidly sized large file that crashes your computer. It's pretty funny.
How do you're an IT scabs, you said?
I used to be, yeah.
How would I go about fixing that if I downloaded a petabyte? I have like 3 terabytes of data. How does that work?
Usually, if your hard drive is completely full, it can't function. So it creates temporary files to just run. So if you fill up somebody's hard drive, there's really nothing you can do about it. You have to open it up, you pull it out of their computer, open it up as a flash drive using what's called a SATA sled, and then you can just start to delete files from there so that it can run again. But it is annoying as heck to do that.
Wow. Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you pay for WinZip, it's actually a copy of Ultimate that was available since 1995. But no one ever paid for it, so we never knew. We could have had the game a while ago. Damn. Yeah. That's how you know no one paid for it. 1-1.
Yeah, with a little reset there, but I mean, Wrath was still had 125% of a lead, and both of them going to the selection here, so we might be seeing a little bit of a counter pick on the side of Sparg0. We'll see. Could be just the stage, of course.
I wonder if he's gonna go. I'm sticking to the Corrin.
Nice.
I'm kind of curious about the stage counter picks too, because it feels as though the stages haven't played too much of a role in this matchup, except for that last one. Wrath just fell on final. Like, no platforms to go ahead and reset to, no way to go ahead and mix up your momentum. What do you actually do to land, given Corrin's relatively lackluster disadvantage state?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously, we talk a lot about, like, Corrin having really good frame traps and really good juggling, but when both characters have really good juggling, I really do think it comes down to who's faster, who can position themselves, and who can get out of disadvantage using literally just their speed alone. And I think with Sonic being that character by a long margin versus Corrin, is just going to do so much better versus FD. Crazy he got an up air. Dude, you get so much damage off of a single pop-up with Corrin. Really, it's such an Corrin is such an elegant character to watch. Like it just seems so like it flows so well together, the moves.
Actually, speaking of inelegance right there, Sparg0 falling out of Rat's up air, that's like the one thing that Sonic players hate the absolute most. And every now and then that move just decides not to function.
Yeah, the multi-hits in this game just sometimes. Some of them are like flawless, and other of them, sometimes you get a Sonic up there.
HungryBox, did you use LimeWire, BearShare, or Kazaa? Wait, was I only supposed to use one?
No U-turn
my
option?
parents' computer was ruined, dude. Like that's enough ruined. Like no, it was bad. But Bear Share was goated when it was there. Ruined. Oh, it was 750 ROMs plus NES emulator. Oh, this seems cool. And then you open a .exe. I thought it was a cool game. It was not a cool game.
It's not a cool game.
Then my parents got divorced. Yeah, it was good.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, but yeah, so don't download LimeWire or don't use LimeWire, kids. Pay for your streaming services. It's worth it in the end.
Well said, HungryBox. Spoken from experience. After that story, I'll be taking his word for it, dude.
Oh man.
Can't help but see a vested interest here.
Yeah.
I just wanted to play my SNES games, man, and I did.
Dude,
It was a great emulator.
You did that hand motion. I'm like, oh, it's real, dude. That computer was cooked.
Bro, the first time I used an emulator at my friend's house, I was like 7 years old, and I was like, this is the coolest thing in the world. It was called SNES 9X. It's got this cool ass interface. I'm like, this feels like you're cheating, like you're getting everything for free. And he's like, yeah, man. And that my whole life changed.
Oh, I thought Homing Attack killed him again. That would have been crazy.
If Nintendo's listening, good, because we know the Virtual Console is just emulators anyway. I said it.
Of course, you opened every single game that you emulated, right, HungryBox?
Every single one.
Yep, that's how it is.
I painstakingly opened the cartridges and used my electrical engineering know-how at 7 years old to extract all the memory. I bought every cable to do so. Now up air is going to extract Wrath out of the room. Sparg0 up 2-1.
Gotta love
Flawless transition as always.
Yeah, I was gonna say I gotta love when the players are listening to the stream and just give it to us like that. I mean, great transition as we move into this game number 4 with Sparg0 being up. Wrath had a little bit of a lead earlier on, but Sparg0 was just able to come back and basically take no damage on that last stock. I kind of made a realization just right now that at the end of the games, when I give like a recap, I'm just TLDRing what happened in the game. I wonder if people find that helpful. I'm becoming self-aware. This is how you know this is late for me. I'm still a little jet lagged from Guatemala. Guatemala's 2 hours ahead. Poor Scavs and HungryBox 3 hours ahead. So it's 1 a.m. right now for you guys. Shout out to you guys.
I am not doing gym tonight. I'm just sleeping for 16 hours. That's what I'm gonna do.
7 hours from now, I have to read legislation. This is not going to be fun. But what has been fun is this block. I would not trade it whatsoever for the world. It's been a blast working with you, PJ, and I cannot wait to see what happens at the end of the bracket, because despite the fact Sparg0's up a game, we're back on Final D, and we saw how dominant Wrath was last year.
Yeah, upbeat attempt from Sparg0 there. I was going to say one of the patterns that Sparg0 goes into with the juggle state is it's a lot of up airs, forward air into up airs, up airs, up airs. And then you'll see when the up air whiffs on an air dodge and Wrath is now looking to shark underneath, he'll land with a nair. And there's little, like that last hitbox and that last mix-up is so important in maintaining that advantage state, because the I combined the words. Advantage state doesn't end when they touch the ground. You can still continue to apply pressure there. That's a really, that really shows like the strength of this character, and especially Sparg0 piloting it, where a lot of characters like will whiff a juggle move on Sonic and get nothing for it, or get punished for it. Corrin is safe. Up throw there for Sparg0 is able to close it out, and the juggle state, not quite lethal, but definitely is going to rack on a lot of percent for kill kills.
But now actually using the neutral air dodge to get back to stage. I'm digging that option. Also, been digging the way that Sparg0's been mixing in these counters. This is kind of a call out for the spin dash in. It's had a little bit of mixed success, but it does force Wrath to choose properly when to go ahead and abuse that movement tool to get coast to coast on the stage.
Yep, exactly. Great down tilt uses there, just checking. Oh my goodness, he's hit 4 down tilts on Sonic. Oh, a little bit of a chunk there, but still we're back in it. And there's the forward tilt. I like how unaffected the players are whenever there's a little bit of a mishap. They just accept the state of being, and they're like, we're just gonna keep going through it. I mean, what else are you supposed to do, right? Just continue to play. Show
Open up
must go
Twitter
on.
and complain. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, true. I would just start pinging Skiff and Rickles like crazy.
Actually, that's just a good thing to do in general. If you ever have any problems with Smash or Coinbox in general, you just at Skiff. He can solve all problems.
All problems solved.
Someone should make like a fob that down on the D-pad pings Rickles and Skiff for a lag check. That'd be so funny.
I mean, there's a future, I don't know, like 50 years from now when esports becomes so commonplace that it's just like, all right, you now have your proper bracket software integrated into our games, and I can actually see it being a thing. You know how like eventually like consoles started adding like Spotify support and Apple whatever.
Discord support, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it became slightly more personalized each time. Like I think there's like a non-zero chance that could actually happen in like the future. You know, like I'm talking like 3 or 4 generations on the line when they really accept like this as part of esports. Or at
I'm
least
there. I'm here for it.
a customization option. Wow, that almost killed. Sparg0 might close it here. Damn, the knockback on that bite is crazy.
Yeah, the paralyzer is scary enough as it is, but that subsequent hit just gives you the punish on a paralyzer. ZSS wishes that you could get a true punish like that off of a paralyzer.
Also, we got to talk briefly about that down tilt up air.
Wow.
Or that down tilt up air.
That's crazy.
The first one connected but didn't kill because Final D has tall ceilings. The second one finally secures that stock for Sparg0.
And wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know what our grand finals is? This needs to be studied. And you know what? I'll watch it a million times if I have to.